Hey Brianna, so I really enjoyed your video and I just wanted to take some time to respond to your post. My dog apparently wants to respond to. So in your video, I really liked your 4 statements that you pointed out from chapter 7 of the textbook. For the first one, you pointed out the statement that says, I can't differentiate because the test isn't differentiated. I really liked this statement, too, because it really summed up how I felt my first year teaching. I felt really defeated about differentiation. I didn't have a whole lot of instruction on that in my undergrad class. And then when I got to teaching, I was like, okay, well, the system's not fair, so how do I do this when it's not going to be asked or be done in the long run? If somebody else isn't doing it, then why am I doing it? Why am I being asked to do it? So I really thought it was a great idea that you pointed out there, and I do think it's something that a lot of beginning teachers struggle with, so great point. The second one about not lowering your expectations is something that I constantly remind myself to do. I especially like that you point out, not just academically, but morally, that we hold our students accountable and that we encourage them to be good people too, not just good students. I think that's one of the things that I always find myself focusing on and looping back to, is that my students aren't just students. They're people, they're human beings, they're children who are trying to navigate their way into this world, and it's my job to help them in all aspects, not just my classroom and my content area. Number 3, keep the focus on learning. Like you said, this was in regards to a behavior issue and picking your battles as a teacher in the classroom. Anytime when I'm working with a student, especially if it's in regards to a behavioral issue, I always try to loop back around to the greater issue there. One of the things I think that I pointed out, or it just stuck out to me in general, was that you can't be too quick to judge what's going on with your student, so that you truly have to understand what's going on there. And I think that's where the learning comes in, is getting your student to see that a negative or inappropriate behavior goes beyond the immediate action-reaction that's going on right there, that there is a bigger issue at play here. So like disruptive classroom behavior isn't just disruptive classroom behavior and a student being bad. It's about missing out on an educational opportunity because there's a different focus there. So really great idea to make sure that your students are always learning and to use every moment possible as a teachable moment for our students. The last thing you pointed out is that every student, their attitude and their behaviors and their experiences are ultimately determined by the attitudes, behaviors, and decisions that a teacher decides to make in the classroom. This is going back to kind of keeping the focus on that learning there, is that our students feed off of our energy. Like you said, even though you don't like teaching something, you are sure to stress the importance of that particular lesson to your students anyway. For me, it's poetry. I hated poetry when I was in high school, when I was in my undergrad. And I'm honest with my students. I'm like, listen, guys, I was like, this may not be your favorite thing to do, but there is a significance here and there is an importance here. And I think it really helps the students to know that we are human beings too, just like we have to understand that they are human beings. So it's about making those relationships and solidifying those relationships at every chance that you get, because teaching is so much more than just the classroom now. And I think that's what's part of it being so powerful, and it's what draws a lot of us to teaching, is that there's an opportunity here to form relationships, truly make a difference, and impact someone else's life. So those were just my thoughts on your 4 points. I really liked your ideas that you decided to take note on in this chapter. Really great job, and I enjoyed your video. So thank you for sharing. Bye.